may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
100% disrespect. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
So that Pacquiao is going to look for.
Floyd Mayweather warned Manny Pacquiao against facing Mario Barrios, stressing that boxing isn't a game. Analysts echo his concern, citing Pacquiao's poor performance in his last fight years ago. Comebacks often fail, returning fighters rarely succeed, and victories are seen as miracles rather than expected outcomes.
Left, ready to go again, working with Freddie Roach. I feel like I'm back in 2010, the Wayback Machine. Pacquiao looked pretty good in some of the videos that I saw, like he wasn't in horrible shape, but he is 46 years old, going up against a guy that is more than a decade younger than him in Mario Barrios. Bob Arum, in the same interview, he said that he was worried about Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy that promoted Pacquiao for most of his professional career, not promoting this fight against Barrios, but he said he is concerned for Pacquiao going into this fight. Do you have concerns about Pacquiao going?
No, I don't have concerns. And look, I can post a video and look good for 10 seconds right now. Just like when Mike Tyson looked like a killer when he was promoting the Jake Paul fight. You writers and you guys with the non-boxing, I need to get those videos out of your head, because they're just clips. Anyone can look good for that long. I can train you to look good for 10 seconds. It'll be pretty hard, but I can train you to look good for 10 seconds on video. So don't worry about that. I look, Bob Arum knows what he's talking about, because it's the legs that's going to get to Pacquiao, not the power, not the explosive speed in front of a heavy bag. But whenever you're in front of an opponent and he's going to be moving around, it's the legs that are going to fail you. They're going to betray you. The power's not going to betray you. That lasts until the very end. His punch resistance, that's not going to betray him, because that never goes. Speed, and it's because you rely on your legs. That's the thing that goes at age. So at 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao is not going to have zero legs.
Analysts are expressing serious concern for Manny Pacquiao's health as he considers a fight against Mario Barrios. Boxing is an unforgiving and physically punishing sport, especially dangerous for fighters coming out of retirement. Pacquiao hasn't competed professionally in 5 years, and experts worry his body may no longer be capable of enduring the intense physical demands of the ring. Age and prolonged inactivity significantly increase the risk of injury. History has shown that retired boxers attempting comebacks often suffer severe health consequences, including concussions and long-term brain damage. These risks have raised urgent concerns about Pacquiao's safety in this bout.
What's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has life-altering injuries, and that can happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. He's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary. Yeah. Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say disappointed.
Former world champion Ricky Hatton reacted with amusement to Manny Pacquiao's decision to return after a 5-year break. He called today's boxing scene unpredictable and said it's baffling for Pacquiao to leap into a world title fight after such a long absence. While he wishes Pacquiao well, Hatton believes the timing and circumstances of this comeback raise serious concern.
I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? 5th in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in and been retired 5 years or whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the...
Former world champion Ricky Hatton found Manny Pacquiao's return to boxing after a 5-year hiatus amusing. He described the current boxing scene as unpredictable and questioned the logic of Pacquiao jumping straight into a world title fight. Though he hopes Pacquiao stays safe, Hatton believes the timing and nature of the comeback are deeply concerning.
Since being a world champion means you are the best in the world. You are the champion of this world at your weight class. We all know right now, at least to me, it's common knowledge that's Duran Boots Ennis. At 147, he is the best in the world. But he doesn't hold all 4 belts, so he is only one of the 2 or 3, I guess now, world champions. It doesn't make sense to me, and especially when now you're the WBC and you're like, yeah, let's bring in Manny Pacquiao to potentially win a world championship. And let's say he pulls it off by some miracle. Are we going to put Manny Pacquiao in there with Boots Ennis? Is that what we're going to do? I hope not. And again, this is not me trying to be a hater. It's just, I don't want to see Manny get hurt. And Barrios, not the biggest puncher in the world, but he can hurt a massive volume puncher, and he will be in there against a guy that, again, isn't a natural 140. He finished his career at 147. That's not where Manny was his best self. He's definitely going to be at a massive size disadvantage. Height, reach, everything. Again, when Manny was in his prime, or, honestly, when he was still in his late 30s and early 40s before he retired, he could have handled that. The speed was still there. The consistency was still there. He wasn't running for political office and doing all this other stuff and taking time off. We see this time and time again. When a boxer retires, takes a long time off, and then comes back, and usually, again, outside of George Foreman, rest in peace to the GOAT, it usually doesn't go well. And I don't think this is going to either. And it's clear to me that this is done for the staging of an event versus the actual competitive nature of the fight. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and that Manny still has it, but I'm just going to go with what makes the most sense. The WBC and whoever they partner with on this is going to try to sell tickets off of it. Okay, that's fine. But what's the point of the belt if this is the match? What are you saying as the WBC to all the actual contenders that you have ranked at welterweight for this belt?
Some observers believe Manny Pacquiao's return is more disrespectful to boxing than celebrity bouts like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. They argue that such comebacks prioritize spectacle and profit over true competition. Critics fear Pacquiao's fight with Mario Barrios could undermine the credibility of title matches and disappoint fans who expect serious, high-quality showdowns, ultimately damaging the sport's integrity and long-standing reputation.
100% disrespect. This is a clown fight. This is a more clown fight than the Jake Paul Mike Tyson. This is an outrage. People should be up in arms about this fight. This is so disrespectful. Barrios loses this fight, he should quit boxing. You let Manny Pacquiao, an older who stop boxing, and then you're his first fight back? You are disrespectful as a champ.
Reflecting on past bouts, commentators recall Floyd Mayweather's remarkable fight against Manny Pacquiao. Despite the gap in weight divisions, sports analyst Max Kellerman noted Pacquiao's rare ability to move up in weight while retaining his speed and agility. This historical perspective adds depth to the current debate, recognizing Pacquiao's past resilience and greatness, but also emphasizing how extraordinary his prime was, highlighting the stark contrast between his former peak and today's more uncertain comeback.
Sugar Ray Robinson, number one. Yeah, and then pound for pound. See, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there. He was the champion at flyweight and then moved up. There's so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. And he even the fact that he could compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers. Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out those levels he is, man?
That dude, it's the calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from the southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao was all that.
In a surprising development, Manny Pacquiao has expressed willingness to face Floyd Mayweather in a rematch, but as an exhibition, not a professional bout. Pacquiao stated that if Mayweather is interested, he's open to making it happen. This reveals Pacquiao's interest in high-profile events, possibly prioritizing entertainment and financial appeal alongside his competitive legacy in the later stage of his career.
The exhibition later on down the line.
Why not? If he's willing to have a rematch with I'm okay with that.
How does it go now, this time around? Obviously, it's been quite a few years since you guys got in the ring.
It's okay. An exhibition with a decision.
The decision. What's that exhibition? So for how long do you
exhibition with a decision?
Boxing analyst and former fighter Carl Frampton harshly criticized Pacquiao's decision, calling the fight a joke and a clear mistake. He suggested the risks to Pacquiao's health and legacy far outweigh any possible rewards. Frampton's blunt assessment reflects a widespread concern in boxing circles that aging veterans often return for financial reasons, not sporting merit, putting themselves in unnecessary danger.
Joke, really. There's a thought, it's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think we have a lot of time for Mauricio Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed allowing a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao straight in for a world title fight.
Contrary to critics who claim Manny Pacquiao's comeback is driven by money, Pacquiao insists financial gain is not his motivation. He points to his long history of philanthropy and charitable giving as proof that wealth is not his primary concern. Instead, he says his return is fueled by a deep passion for boxing and a desire to make history. Pacquiao hopes to add another memorable chapter to his legacy, not merely boost his bank account.
So Manny Pacquiao is taking on a challenge against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios currently holds the WBC World Championship of the world. Now, a lot of people are saying that Manny Pacquiao is only doing this for a payday, and recently I saw an interview where he said that he's donated over $1 billion to multiple charities. Now, if that's the case, you guys just sound dumb as hell, because that just means 1, this man's balling, 2, this man's generous, and 3, a lot of people have been looking up to the wrong role model, because you see people like Mayweather, the richest boxer of all time, right? Buys a $30 million watch and then flexes it on his own fucking fans. Meanwhile, Pacquiao is doing the people's work, alright, man? This man's fucking trying to be president. I think he is president of the Philippines or something. He's just pulling in his weight, and he's just trying to go for GOAT status, you know what I'm saying? He got his old coach coaching him in the corner again. Honestly, I do feel like it's going to end in a tragedy, though. I feel like Mario Barrios, depending if he's nice or not, will end Pacquiao.
Prominent boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has expressed concerns about Manny Pacquiao's comeback, highlighting the significant challenges of age and long-term inactivity. At 46, Pacquiao is far from the explosive fighter he once was, and Hearn cautions that sustaining elite performance after years out of the ring is extremely tough. While some fans are thrilled to see the legendary icon return, others fear the fight could jeopardize Pacquiao's health and potentially tarnish the legacy he worked so hard to build.
I'm in a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios in that fight.
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago, and every month, or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's 2 questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the rating world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting into a fight like this?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit different to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots. Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually, Pacquiao is a step up. People are still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots. But he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Respected boxing trainer Greg Hackett gave a blunt assessment of Manny Pacquiao's upcoming fight against Mario Barrios. He noted that years ago, Pacquiao would have been the clear favorite, but the situation now is very different. At 46, Pacquiao no longer possesses the speed, endurance, or intensity that defined his prime. Hackett described the bout as a money fight, more spectacle than a genuine contest between top fighters. Pacquiao's return announcement has sent shockwaves throughout the boxing community, sparking widespread debate and concern.
But Pacquiao, not Pacquiao. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might try to beat Pacquiao. I mean, not knock him out, but beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, right?
Yeah. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back and he want to come back with a bang, so why not? If he can make it happen, because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I would love something. That's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans will criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. I mean, because really, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things.
Mauricio Sullian, president of the World Boxing Council, confirmed that all necessary approvals have been secured for Manny Pacquiao to challenge for the welterweight title. Fans remain divided. Some are excited to see one of boxing's greatest return to the ring, while others worry this comeback could harm Pacquiao's legacy or lead to serious injury. Mario Barrios, the younger and active contender, approaches the fight with calm focus. He respects Pacquiao but refuses to be intimidated by the legendary name. Barrios plans to use his youth, reach, and stamina to apply pressure throughout the fight. For him, this bout is more than just a paycheck. It's a career-defining chance to prove himself by defeating one of boxing's all-time greats.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great and a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. Why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit longer.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, see you soon.